What's up, fam? How's it going? This week's video is gonna be a little bit different. So, as some of you may know, I started making YouTube videos way back in 2014 when I separated my shoulder and I was gonna have surgery, and I wanted to share that experience with other people out there so that they knew what to expect and how to handle their rehab. I didn't do such a good job. I documented my first 6 days or so after having surgery, and then I kind of split. Had stuff to do, had my own life. Came back to YouTube, I don't know, about 5 or 6 months ago, and suddenly there were a ton of comments asking me what to do in order to rehab your shoulder. So for those of you that don't know, an AC separation, or an acromion separation, or a shoulder separation as it's known colloquially, commonly, in everyday conversation, is basically an injury where the clavicle, this guy right here, separates from all of this stuff in here, your acromion, which hooks your shoulder kind of together. So it's not actually like your rotator cuff or anything there, but it's more like your scapula and your acromion. So I had a grade 5 AC separation, which meant not only was this popped up over 200% out of place, but it was also shifted back. So it was totally out of alignment, crazy whacked up, and I had to have a pretty serious surgery. My rehab was pretty awesome. It was pretty easy, and I just kind of wanted to share some of the tips that I picked up in my recovery process with all of you. Note, this series is going to be broken up into 2 videos. The first video, the one I'm recording right now, is gonna be about the time immediately after surgery, when you are still in a sling. The second video that I'm going to make is gonna be about when you get your sling off and your shoulder's all super atrophied and your arm is all tiny and you've got this tiny little like 12-year-old girl arm on the side of your body, of your like giant, awesome masculine arm, and how to kind of get that back to where it needs to be normally. Note, PSA, important information. I am not a doctor, don't have a PhD, I'm in no way a licensed physical therapy practitioner. I'm just a guy who rehabbed his own AC separation post-surgery pretty quickly. So, phase 1, video 1, you've got a sling on, you're out of surgery. First thing to remember, for that first week until the bandage comes off, you're not doing crap. Sit on the couch, hang out. I started watching sports. That's something that was new to me. I'm not a sports guy. Binge watched some TV shows, just kind of resigned to do nothing for that week. It's really confusing. You're on a bunch of pain meds. Watch my early videos. They're hilarious. And you don't really have a lot you can get done. If anything, at the time, my girlfriend and I went on walks, which was really cool. We'd go up to the hills and just kind of go on like light leisurely strolls through the trails, and it was a nice time just to kind of chill and not do a bunch of stuff. Once your bandage comes off, then you can think about sweating. Because that's the big thing to think about, is like, how are you going to clean yourself up once you're gross and sweaty after working out? So for me, the easiest thing to do, and the thing that was the most practical to the sport that I love to do, was to get on a stationary bike. Now, I have an indoor trainer in my house, as many cyclists do, as you should if you're a cyclist. You can easily find one at your gym. I was lucky enough to have one in the gym where I worked, so I had not only a stationary bike at home, but a stationary bike at the office. This is a great way to have something to look forward to every day. For me, it was huge. Being able to work out like for an hour to an hour and a half every single day, it was awesome. So I got very serious. I had a good friend buy me a book about periodized training on a stationary trainer. I wrote a program. It was like a 3-month program because I knew that was going to be about the amount of time that I was going to be off of the road and without both of my hands on the handlebars, and I just followed that program every single day on the trainer. Cyclocross season after my injury, my fitness was so strong that I actually had my top performing season of all time after literally 3 months completely off the bike. Think about that. The other thing I recommend doing is cross training. So definitely some kind of strength stuff on your working side has actually been proven to benefit your non-working side. There have been tons of study on this. They strap electrode monitors all over people's bodies, and they can see that while stuff is happening over here, like in this bicep is actually engaged. So if you want to prevent atrophy, I actually a really good way to do it is to work out your functional side. And you also have legs, which are great for squats and single arm deadlifts and lunges and jumping up and down in place. Box jumps, I did them for a little bit. The impact was kind of intense. Exercises that I definitely recommend are single arm planks, single arm push-ups if you are a total badass, single arm chest presses. So if you get a TRX suspension trainer, you can actually do some cool single arm chest presses that will allow you to still kind of exercise that right pec, that right tricep, and your core without kind of messing up your left side too much. Single arm rows, again, the TRX suspension trainer is great for this, but you can also use a sort of a low pull-up bar. Squats, lunges. I do not recommend kettlebell swings. I do not recommend battling ropes. Those are both things that I tried that actually ended up really hurting my, my injured arm. So the reason why this whole time is important is because this left arm, or whatever arm it is that is not working for you, is supposed to be completely immobilized so that all of this stuff can build up. Unlike an ACL repair or an MCL repair or a rotator cuff repair, where you don't want a bunch of cartilage to build up and get frozen, you actually do want that with an AC separation because all of those muscles and tendons are growing back over the things that you just ripped off. So yeah, those are my tips for your time in the sling. Develop a workout regimen, probably on a stationary bike. 2, do some kind of cross training with your upper body, and I showed you those exercises. Come back for video 2, in which I will tell you what to do to rehab your shoulder once the sling is off. Those are the ones that I get all the questions about. Okay, see you soon.